everyone, and welcome back to Page 3 Hot Topics. This week, I'm joined by Daisy and Chloe. Jay is on holiday, so she cannot make it this week, but the Three Musketeers are back, and we will be discussing everything from NTAs, peers, Anton Deck, dating dilemmas, Botox bombs, all of it. As usual, if you've got any questions on anything that we're discussing or any comments, then pop them in the comment section below and we will get them answered for you. First off, Chloe and Daisy, hello.
Hello.
So it is the NTAs tonight. This is one of the biggest awards shows of the year in TV. And obviously, everything's slightly cooling down with the pandemic. So people are actually going this year. Stars are getting ready as we speak. Everybody I'm following on Instagram, Charlene White, etc. They're all getting ready now, getting glammed up, ready to go. I personally can't wait to see the outfits. And I cannot wait to see who's going to win. But there's been a bit of controversy, a little bit of spicy competition this year. Anton Deck are usually the winners. They usually bag a couple of awards. But Piers Morgan, of course, is speaking out again, saying he's sick of seeing Anton Deck winning. And he wants to be the one to get the award. There he is with Susanna, his former co-host when he was on Good Morning Britain. But does Piers actually deserve to finally win an NTA after all the controversy he's faced this year? He's left the Good Morning Britain. Obviously, the Ofcom result last week might have changed people's opinion on him leaving slightly. But does he deserve to win? Who thinks no and who thinks yes? Anyone think no? No. Yeah, right.
I don't know. I think he does because it's always Anton Deck all the time. I do think it would be good to see someone else win. Do you know what I mean? But I love Anton Deck so much. I would want Anton Deck to win, but it's just always the same winners. I'd like there to be a little twist.
Yeah, it is always
the same
people.
It's just boring. It's always Anton Deck. No one's like, oh.
No, completely. And you said no, Daisy.
I do agree as well that, it should maybe be someone different. But Piers has had so much bad press in the sense of the things he's done, the things he said. If he then goes to win it tonight, do you not think that sets a little bit of a bad example, that bad behaviour and making the mistakes that he's made, it still gets a reward? I don't think it looks good.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. And also, I don't know about you girls, but it's three white men in their 40s. It would be quite nice if a woman won it, don't you think? Or somebody, I'm sure they're all really good pals, as you can tell by that picture. I'm sure, if Anton Deck do win tonight, I'm sure Piers won't actually be that annoyed about it. But also on the same note, I'm really sick and tired of being the same people. Now, if there's anybody that you would like to put forward for it, would you put forward anybody for this prize? A woman. Let's go for a woman. Is there anybody that really stands out to you?
I like Holly Willoughby.
Holly Willoughby, yeah.
She's my fave.
I feel like Katie Price.
Now, Katie Price is in a different category. She's in the documentary category for her and Harvey's documentary together, and we'll be discussing that in a moment. But yes, Holly Willoughby is a good one, but again, it's all the same faces. Also, everyone always forgets about Susanna. Now, she was the co-host with Piers, and she's obviously now taking the lead, and she's the one who's hosting Good Morning Britain alongside different co-hosts every week. What about Susanna? She's also held the government to account and stuff throughout the pandemic. Why is she not being put forward for it? Surely.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea as well. Yeah,
and Sophie's got in touch saying Susanna Reid for manning the helm after the Piers meltdown. Yeah, it's right.
That is true.
She stayed so professional throughout all of it, and she really did keep her cool about the whole thing. She hasn't once ever sort of said, she didn't agree with Piers or what she did, and she could have very easily have done so. Anyway, if you guys have got any comments about the NTA tonight that you want to put forward, then do let us know. But there is one category in particular which has really taken my interest, that's for sure, and that's the documentary category. Now, there's lots of really, really interesting people in it this year. I've obviously got Katie Price and Harvey. Now, that was the most fascinating documentary and I think everyone kind of saw a different side of Katie. And Chloe, you said before that Katie's sort of like being your icon and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Role model. And did you see a different side to her as well when you watched the documentary?
I just think she's absolutely amazing with children, 100%. This is the side no one sees of her. They just think she's like a glamour model. It's all about her and her love life. But she takes like pride in Harvey. She puts a lot of work in, and I just love watching them both. I think they're both so entertaining and just fun. He's very funny as well. I love him.
Yeah, and we're just experiencing some technical difficulties with Daisy. We'll try and get her back on. But in the meantime, let's discuss all the other documentaries. Now, obviously, you've got Marcus Rashford. Now, everyone always forgets how young Marcus Rashford is, and he is still campaigning, behind food poverty and for children in the UK. And obviously, there was a documentary which shined a light on it. I mean, obviously, another really, really deserving winner who's in the category. We've just got you back. We're just talking about.
Sorry.
No, please. And obviously, who else is in there? We've got everything from Casey Price, Marcus Rashford, and then obviously Kate Garraway, another Good Morning Britain.
Oh, yeah. Me nan wants her to win.
Yeah, honestly,
program she's amazing. How she looked after her husband and stuff.
She's still looking after him. He's now back at home, and I mean, it's such a tragic story, but also one which filled with so much hope as well. So she's also in the category. Daisy, did you watch that documentary, Finding Derek?
I didn't. No. Sorry.
Do you know the story behind it? Do you know the story? Yeah. So Derek is Kate's husband, and he's a big political figure. Now they've been married, they've got kids, they've been married for so many years, and Derek got COVID really, really badly, ended up in intensive care. I mean, really, really tough. He's now being transported back home where he's being looked after there. But the documentary follows how Kate looks after him from all his time in hospital, where she was separated from him for months because of the lockdown. Another really, really deserving category. And obviously, so we've got those three. And then we've got Rob Burrow, My Year with MND, and Ronan Kemp as well. Now, of all those people in the category, is there anybody that you'd really like to win and scoop the award? What do we think? Chloe, who do you want?
Katie Price. I just think she's a part of the Page 3 family. How could I not support her? But honestly, but I love her, like, for her. Do you know what I mean? As well. So Katie.
Yeah. And what do you think?
I think they're all quite deserving to win, aren't they? It's all everyday life and things that go on with everybody, whether you're famous, not famous. So I don't really have any favourites. I know that's not really answering your question, but I think they all deserve to win a little bit something. Even being nominated is nice, isn't it?
Yeah, this is true. The nomination alone is massive. And obviously they got loads of viewing figures and stuff from it. So actually, at the end of the day, you're right. Everyone should deserve to win. But we obviously took this to the polls. Now, first off, we did a Piers Morgan poll to see what you guys thought. Should Piers beat Ant and Dec at the NTAs? No, 62. And yes, 37%. Another classic case of Piers dividing the nation there. And then we also did an NTA poll on the best doc as well. And we asked you guys who should win best documentary at the NTAs. Kate Garraway, 60%. Katie Price, 20%. Ronan Kemp, 20%. Marcus Rashford, 0%. That's a shame about Marcus Rashford because he's great. Now, Ryan's got in touch. Katie for the win. She has been through thick and thin this year. This is true.
Woo! Go Ryan.
This is true. A lot on there. And also another viewer just got in touch saying she'd like Holly to be on there too. But again, it's all the same names popping up. I'd quite like a change next year. Anyway, we will find out all the winners tonight after it airs, and they'll be hitting the red carpet before you know it, and it'll be splashed all over the Daily Star, which are on the website, from the best looks, etc. So make sure you stay tuned to our Instagram to see it. Now, next up, We keep on having technical difficulties, but do stay with us. She will be back. We have Megan Barton Hansen. Now, if you don't know Megan, she is a former Love Islander. She's done very, very well after the show. She was doing very well before the show. She has been seen at lots of events and stuff, and she, you know, she's been quite open about surgery and everything that she's had. But this week she has put on her Instagram stories about getting Botox on her bum. Now, I didn't even realise you could get Botox on your bum. Chloe, did you?
Yeah, I think I did. I have looked into it. It's the only thing I would get done, I think. I would like a little butt lift or something. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
No, I've heard of a bum
yeah.
like, called
Brazilian bum lift, but I didn't know you get Botox, I don't think.
Yeah.
No.
But I've never heard of Botox in the bum. And I've heard of bum lift, you know, the classic sort of like the Kim K look. Now, Daisy, have you heard of Botox in the bum?
I'm so sorry I keep disappearing. The fire alarm's gone off at work and now Wi-Fi is not brilliant. My apologies. Botox in bum, back on topic. I have heard of it. Yeah, why not? It's easier than surgery nowadays, isn't it? So if it's something that people are really insecure about and that's something they want to get done, rather than going and having a whole surgical treatment, you can just pop down to clinic, have it done. If it boosts your confidence, then why not?
It's easier than carrying them bloody weights in the gym as well. God, they kill me.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Now, obviously, that's the natural route to go down. But Sophie's got in touch saying, do women need Botox at 27? What do we think, girls? I mean, she does make a fair point. 27, that's still very young.
It is young, but I think people have Botox for whatever reasons they want to have it for.
Yeah.
And whether that is in the sense that you've got the wrinkles, the fine lines, people age differently to other people, whether it's your genes or you've sunbathed, you've lived in the sunny country and you've sunbathed and not worn SPF on your face. If you've then got those wrinkles and you want to stop the process, then so be it. There's obviously the Botox aging in toll, that you can't get it whilst you're under 18. But 27 depends what you've been doing.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess with your body, your choice. But obviously we have to bear in mind here, and I'm just being devil's advocate, okay? She's got a large following, and I'm sure some of that following are under the age of 18. And, you know, we've all been at that age and we've seen people and we've, you know, been at that age. I think I was going through glossy magazines and thinking I wanted to look like her and stuff. Now, if I didn't know, of all the different, the world ahead of me and stuff, and I was, quite influenced by this influencer online, and I saw her getting Botox in the bum, and I thought that was a normal thing to do. Do you think she should have kept that to herself, maybe?
Completely.
Or maybe put like a caption with it saying, you don't, just because I'm doing this, you don't necessarily have to.
Yeah, completely. Pandora, you've made an excellent statement there. Yeah, a lot of young girls are going to look at that and think, oh, I need mine done now. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I even look up to her. Like, I think she's absolutely stunning. I honestly do.
Yeah, she is beautiful, and I'm not taking away from her at all. She's obviously gorgeous, a complete bombshell. But we have to bear in mind she does have a younger audience online, and that should come with some kind of responsibility. Daisy, what do you think about that?
Oh, I think it's so hard. You can't win, you can't lose. I do completely agree with, Ryan, you don't need this. I've got this done because. But if she keeps it to herself, the press will then be like, find out. And then it'll be like, oh, she wants to pretend that it's natural and whatnot. So yeah. I think it's quite good that she's like, I've got this done. Hear what you're saying, maybe put a bit of a comment on it and say, not for everyone, my own choice. You're fabulous as you are.
Yeah, this is true. And actually, that's a very good point, which I hadn't thought of. Now, we all remember the Kylie Jenner saga, where she denied having lip fillers for God knows how long. And then she said, actually, guys, I have had lip fillers. So it's one of those cases where it doesn't really matter whether you do or whether you don't. Someone gets wind of it, and then they're like, oh, XYZ has been to this surgery or have had this done, etc., etc.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult when you're in the public eye, and I've got no idea what it would be like. But I can imagine that whatever you do, there'll always be someone who doesn't agree.
Yeah.
But we took this to the poll. Would you guys ever get Botox at home? No. A resounding no. Now, obviously,
I bet that's all men. I bet that's all like, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
All the
it's all the Daily Star pastry boys at home. I say men, sorry. They said no, but some men are now having it. Men are having manicures now and stuff. I'm sure there's lots of where there is that one waxing treatment, which I don't think I can say. But lots of men are having that now. So no judgment if you are. It's an anonymous poll, so you can say yes. But yeah, I'm personally going to stick to the anti-aging creams, but you never know, maybe. But moving on from bum Botox, international insurance, what a turn. Boris Johnson has announced this week that he's doing a national insurance tax hike, which completely goes against what he said he would do in his manifesto. And it's wound a few people up, obviously, because they'll be spending more out of their paycheck straight out of it into the national insurance. Now it's 1.5% increase. Now, people are saying that landlords, and billionaires, they should be the ones that are getting taxed more. Everyday people shouldn't be getting taxed more, because it starts, I think, at the minimum over £10,000 or something. That's when it's going to get the 1.5% increase on top of what they're already paying in national insurance anyway. And that actually puts everyday people obviously in a worse position, but billionaires and stuff are still getting the same rates. So should landlords be getting taxed more instead of everyday people? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes. If they earn like a higher income, then yeah, definitely. Why not?
Yeah. And Daisy, what do you think?
I do agree. I think, it depends on what they're paying from their mortgage. Like, people could pay £500 on their mortgage and then charge £2,000 rent. Absolutely, like, you're making money out of people, easy. But say, for instance, their mortgage is really high, they've just bought it and they're renting it out for whatever reason. I think there should be a cut on how much their mortgage is as to whether or not they should. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
completely agree.
Completely. And also, I forgot to mention, which I should have done, this is towards social care as well. So that's what he's saying, is this is going towards social care, and we do know how much we need that in this country. But I think there was a better way of doing it. Maybe there should have been a certain salary cap, and when you start, when you hit that salary cap, that's when you start paying more national insurance. But for people who are, I don't know, on like, let's say £18,000 or something a year, should they really be paying 1.5% extra on top of inflation? It seems quite steep.
Hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's like you penalise even if you do earn. You work so hard and you earn this money. It's easy, isn't it, to turn around and go, wow, they earn so much money, they should pay it. But you don't know what they do to have to earn that money anyway. But I do get it from both sides. It's a tough one.
Yeah,
it's
a tough one.
Really tough one. And obviously, we're not in a position to say it. We're not politicians and stuff. But,
I know.
We just but we just had that landed on our doorstep. Oh, yeah, you will be paying 1.5% extra. And that is, when you've got, I can imagine when you've got a family, and that is sort of like the difference, really. 1.5% is, it can make a really, really big difference to somebody's life. So, but if you guys have got any comments on this as well, do get in touch. I'm sure lots of people are vocal online about it. So that's why we thought we'd touch on it this week. But moving on from Boris Johnson, who's had a colourful love life, talking about our dating dilemmas now. So it's been a hello week. For dating. Chloe, you're also a single woman, if you don't mind don't mind me saying. Daisy, I'm going to say that you're the agony aunt in the situation. It's been a bit of a tough one this week, I think. You know, people have come out of lockdown. I think people have been in long relationships, been very, very close together through lockdown. And they, you know, we've got breakups here, we've got people getting together here, we've got, you know, lots of casual daters, etc. I think people are all very confused about what they want at the moment.
Definitely.
And I have been hit with it myself. So what do you think about this, Chloe? So I was online. I was chatting to this guy, got along really well with him, and we organised to go on a date. 2 hours before the date, he said, "What's your Instagram?" Gave my Instagram, Pandora Forsyth. And then about half an hour later, bear in mind, obviously you spend all morning getting ready for a date. You're making yourself look amazing. You know, I'm talking face mask, I'm talking fake tan, I'm talking like, you know, I've got the outfit planned. It's all ready to go. I've even showered my little French bulldog behind me, got his looking all shiny, picked out his little bow tie, ready to go on this date. Anyway, got it all planned, supposed to meet in a park in London, go for a couple of drinks, etc. Then he says, "Oh, you apparently have," bear in mind he's now stalked my social media, "have kissed one of my friends 5 years ago."
Oh my God.
I was like, it was like the date's off.
Dated.
Sorry?
Kissed or dated? Was it like, was you?
Yeah, so bear in mind 5 years ago. So that's
Pandora, it sounds like a little stalker.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then he proceeds to unmatch me, and then the date's cancelled on 2 hours' notice.
That is the weirdest thing ever.
I said, I don't. He was like, "It's not for me. Sorry." Bizarre. Now, fair enough. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and everyone can do what they like. But do you think that because one of your friends, I don't know, let's say it's one of your friends' exes and stuff, and you're online, let's say an ex, or just someone they casually, you know, had a fling with or something, and that was so long ago, would that stop you from pursuing a first date with someone? Or am I being unreasonable here?
Daisy, you go first.
Oh.
Am I being unreasonable?
I don't know. I think it's a fine line, isn't there? Like, it's tough. I think exes should be off limits, like just they should be. But whether you go into a situation unknown, I don't know. I suppose it depends on the situation. I think there should be T's and C's in the contract of exes, friends' exes. You know, was it a long-term relationship? Were they in love? Are you in love with them? Is it just going to be a fling? Are you all going to go out for dinners together and double date and go to each other's weddings, or not?
If you fully went out with them, then it's different. But if you just kissed him, like, that's nothing. Like, I kiss everyone.
Yeah, I agree with them. Kiss doesn't count.
I kiss everyone when I'm out.
I don't know. I just think it's a bit bizarre seeing it. So it was so long ago. Anyway, so that happened. And then it's just been a string of, you know, just disasters on the love front. Now, do you have any advice, Daisy, as somebody who's in a very happy relationship, for single people right now? Because I think everyone's a bit confused about what they want, what to do. Would you be very open about what you want at the beginning? You know?
Yeah.
How
do you being single? I loved it. Loved dating. Loved going out, dining, dinners, drinks. But I would always be so honest from day one, in the sense of I talk to other people. I'm not really looking for anything right now. And to be
she was so close to saying what we needed to hear. Claudia said, "I agree. It's a case by case situation." This is true. I think it is a case by case situation. It's one of those ones I find that if you've got similar interests with somebody, you know, you're around the same age, you both obviously live in the same kind of area, because otherwise they wouldn't pop up on your online dating app. The likelihood is you will know somebody down the line, or a mutual friend of, who has dated you or has spoken to you in the past. Now, I'm not saying long-term exes, you're right, they should be off limits.
Yeah.
But the likelihood is, with the similar interests, similar location, similar age.
My area's
There will be a
awful because we
crossover.
all know each other. It's smaller than London. And like, if I walk out the door, I'm like, I know him, I know him, I know him. He knows something about me. He knew something about me, and it just spreads. And I hate it. Like, I might just date. So I'm gonna just date someone from like Switzerland or Germany, because then I'll just be happy.
I spoke to my mum about this. Mother knows best. And she said, you know, when I was your age, there wasn't such thing as social media. So, you know, you wouldn't be able to stalk somebody and see who's following them and then message them and say.
Yeah, it definitely causes a lot of arguments.
It never would have been the case before. Because no worries. We're just talking about social media and how it's completely changed aspects of things. Now, my mum said, you know, it would never have been the case. That never would have even come up in conversation unless you and that person were in the same room. Like, it never would have come up. So is social media, obviously I'm using a social media dating site. So in that case, it's good because I'm finding the people. But also social media is a bad thing because then you see who that person's following and stuff, and it doesn't allow you to pursue something which might have been good. Difficult. Tanya's got in touch saying I was online dating and called it off with a guy because I saw a comment on my sister's Facebook from him telling her how beautiful she was. They never dated, but that bothered me enough to call it off. It sucked too because I really liked him.
No.
That's tough. The sister. That's really,
that'd cringe me out.
Yeah, no, I'd find that really, you know what, it is a shame, Tonya, but also it's one of those situations where it's a case of if you did get together and then your sister was in the same.
Yeah, I'd be really paranoid.
You'd be like, yeah, no, too close to home. I think it was a good call. But obviously, we'll probably could be coming back with more digital dilemmas. You know, it's changing by the week at the moment. But we'll be back next week for more. We'll be able to see who the NTA winners were and get everything unfolded and discussed next week. But thank you so much, girls, for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry about my disappearing and returning.
No worries. Catch you next week.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.